Hi, here is my assignment 6 coding and procedures. So first I'm going to show you guys my first method section, and this is pretty much just the introduction scene which occurs in the beginning of the video. And the ogre just says welcome to the challenge of doom, and it asks the user a question using a string from the user asking if it dares to play. If the initial answer is yes, the ogre gives the instructions of what to do. The tortoise says I'm ready to play. And then the ogre says to enter through the gate and to press the first digit to change scene events. So the tortoise goes through the gate and does that. And then later on, this will call one of my procedures called the skull challenge in one of the other scenes. So first I'm going to show you my different change to scenes. So the first change of scene procedure is called change scene to ogre scene, and this is called later on. It's the last event called in the video. And so the billboard will set opacity to 1, the camera will move and orient to the ogre scene camera, the ground will set its paint to grass, and the tortoise will move and orient to the object marker for the ogre scene. And then the billboard will once again set its opacity to 0. So in the final scene, the tortoise wins the challenge of doom. So this is what happens once the tortoise wins. So the tortoise will turn to face the ogre. The ogre says, congratulations on completing the challenge of doom. Here is your prize. The diamond, which is the prize, will set opacity to 1. It will appear. The ogre said what the diamond is. And then the ogre will disappear. And then that diamond will move to the wrist of the tortoise. And then the diamond action function will be called. And this is what makes the diamond so rare, is that it will change a bunch of colors and spin. And the tortoise says woohoo, and then the scene ends with the billboard becoming black. So our next change to scene event is change to scene for the ghost challenge. And so the same thing occurs for all the scenes. The billboard sets opacity to 1, the camera moves and orients to the ghost challenge camera, the ground changes, then the tortoise moves to their object marker, and the billboard sets opacity to 0. So then the ghost welcomes the tortoise to challenge 2. He gives the instructions to the tortoise on what to do. The tortoise says, click on me to start. And in this, the tortoise will get opacity. If it's greater than 9.5, then the while loop will run. And if both the score number is less than 10 and the timer is greater than 0, then the ghost will use the procedure ghost move random. And the objective of this challenge is for the tortoise to click on as many ghosts as he can before the timer runs out. If he can do this, then he will win the game. So if down here you can see if the score gets numbers greater or equal to the 10, the tortoise says you won. And then at the end, the tortoise will now say, now click on digit to claim your prize. So that I will bring you back to the final scene. But next, now I'm going to show you the change scene to the skull challenge. So this is the first challenge that happens, and this is just giving the same things as all the other scene event challenges, but the billboard will set opacity to 1, the camera will move and orient to the skull challenge camera, the ground will set to dirt, and the tortoise will move and orient to the object marker. So for that challenge, this is the first challenge, it's called the skull challenge, and this is the procedure for it. So the witch will say, welcome to challenge 1. The witch will give the instructions and say, play the trivia game by answering certain questions. The first challenge question, the witch will ask, how many skulls are there? So using the interaction of the get integer from user, the user will say how many skulls they think there is. If they say the correct number, then the witch will say correct, and then move on to asking the next question. And the next question is, when you collide with each of the skulls, how many skulls turn green? So the witch gives the instructions on how to collide. And then the user will take the tortoise and collide with each of the skulls to see which ones turn green and don't turn green. And then if the user says there was 4 skulls that turn green, then the witch will say correct. And then finally, for the third question, the witch asks how many skulls when they move, jump up, and spin around. To the witch will say, watch this, and then the procedure skull moves, which I will show you, has the skulls do a little jump up, spin around, and by then the user gets to determine using get integer from user how many skulls jumped up. And if they say 4, which is correct, then the witch will say you have won, and then they'll say click on digit 2 to move to the next challenge, which is the ghost challenge. So now I'm going to show you the skull challenge procedure, which we're already, so that was the skull challenge procedure. And then I'm gonna show you, sorry, the skull move procedure. And the skull move procedure is pretty simple. It just has the skulls move up, then like turn left a whole unit, turn right a whole unit, and then move back down. And in that you can see that you can see that it is called in an array, is used for the each and specific skull, and the skull moves individual skull. The skull moves. So only a certain amount of skulls will do the procedure. And that is called in an array. Then for the diamond, I'm just going to show you the function for the diamond. So the diamond will turn right, it will change its set paint multiple times to different colors, and then turn left, which makes the diamond rare. And then finally, I'm going to show you the color skull procedure. And this is just having, if the opacity is greater than 0.95, then the skull's set paint to color change. So that's what allows them to, in the skull challenge, to change colors when they collide with the tortoise. And then we have the ghost move random procedure. This occurs in the change the ghost challenge, which is challenge 2. And it pretty much is the ghost moves up for a duration, and then it delays for a little bit, so you have time to click on it, and then it moves back down. Pretty simple. And then I'm just going to show you for the timers and the scores. The initialized score, we have a parameter, which is a start value, set score number to the start value, and then this set value plus the score number and the set opacity to 1. Then we have the update score, and this is just set score number plus set score number plus 1, and the set value plus the score number. And we have the initialized timer, which is this set timer number is the amount, which is the parameter, set value plus amount, set opacity to 1. And then finally, the update timer. And this is the set timer number minus 1, so it decreases each time. And then this set timer equals this timer number. And then finally, I'm going to show you my initialize event listeners. So first we have the key press listeners, and this is what allows the scene changes to happen. So if event is digit 1, the change scenes to the skull challenge. If it's digit 2 clicked on, the change scene to the ghost challenge. And then if it's event digit 3, change scene to ogre scene. Then we have the key pressed event listeners to move the tortoise around. So if the key equals left, the tortoise moves left. If the key equals right, the tortoise moves right. If the key equals up, the tortoise moves forward. And if the key equals down, the tortoise moves backwards. This is what allows the tortoise to move throughout the game. Then we have a mouse click object listener, which is for the tortoise in challenge 2 with the ghost. So if the tortoise gets opacity is greater than 0.95, the scorer will initialize the score to set value of 0, and the timer will initialize its amount to 20. So the tortoise says try to click on the ghost, and the timer starts going off. So this is what allows the challenge 2 to start with the timer and the score. Then we have the mouse click for the ghosts. So if the timer gets opacity is greater than 0.9, the mouse location equals white, then update the score. So every time the ghost is clicked on, the score will update for the ghost. And then we have the timer elapse, which just allows the timer to count down. Then we have our collision starter, which is for challenge 1 with the skulls. And so if event gets S thing from set B equals the skulls, it will call the procedure color skulls, and some of them are white and some of them are green, and for each skull it varies. So that is my code and procedures for assignment 6. Thank you.